want to go for is that everyone becomes a designer, you know, through your app. In a way, I would look to Canva as a case study that's in a similar way. So what Canva did for graphic design was it essentially came up with templates, right, and made the stream. So what they identified in their business model was the fact that lots of businesses obviously needed letterheads, they needed websites, they needed business cards, but not everyone could afford a designer, or they couldn't actually afford to spend the time that it would take to work with a designer. So they essentially took out that process and streamlined it. So through their platform, you could actually, you know, come up with, came up with a whole bunch of templates that you could use, so that you could either produce a book really easily, and you were an instant designer in a way, because you either could quickly produce a menu or a publication or a business card or whatever. And so really tapped into a big market. And, you know, everyone knows how big Canva is worth right now. I think a couple of billion. Yeah, exactly. So I would look and see if there is an interior design version of what Canva does, to know if you've already got a competitor, or if that actually exists in the market already. So my example, I'll just pop it into the chat so you can look at them. So I think you're talking about doing, so Canva was obviously focused on graphic design, but you want to see if there is an example of that in interiors. Yeah. So in a way, it's almost like, you know, how those website builders like, you know, Squarespace or Wix or Squarespace, they actually take out the process of having to go to a web designer, because you can use templates and it makes it really accessible. So everyone can put together a portfolio or a website without having to be a designer. So, you know, are you proposing a technology or a platform that can actually help you to do that kind of work, but for interior design? And then actually seeing what else is out there at the moment. And then obviously you need to frame up at the beginning what percentage of the population actually needs to a new home, right? Or needs to design a home. You can actually make it more specific to where you are. So if you're not in Australia at the moment, you could talk about it. Are you in Melbourne? Yeah, so you can actually reframe it, Han, to be responding to a need in Vietnam, as opposed to it needing to be for an Australian context. So you might go, okay, in Vietnam, there is actually currently a shortage of housing, or a shortage of apartments, and, you know, there's a need for, you know, with an increased population, there's actually a need for, you know, 75% new houses for, you know, whatever target audience that you're talking about. And then just say that at the moment, you know, all builders are currently inundated with custom homes. So you're trying to streamline that process and provide a platform that automates some of that process, and that makes everyone be able to generate their own home that they can then take to a builder to design, to build or whatever. So I think it's just trying to define what that sort of model is. So if it's I don't know if Canva is based on a subscription, or if you pay by template or whatever it is, but I would look at the business model of something like Canva to help you to refine your idea. Okay? No problem.